On October 24, 2022, the US issued a brand new coin. On one side of this coin is Washington, the founding father of the United States, and on the other side, it turned out to be a Chinese woman. This is an unprecedented first. Chinese faces appear on American coins. Her name is Huang Liushuang, or Anna May Wong, a woman who has made history and is always proud of being Chinese. Hi. Welcome to my channel. In today's video, let's talk about the story of this legendary woman. She is from Guangdong, China. In that era when the people were struggling to make ends meet, her grandfather was the first group of Chinese workers to go to the United States, and her father opened a laundry shop in Chinatown, California. In the era when the status of the Chinese was low, Wong was often bullied by the white classmates in the class. They even stabbed her with pins to see if the Chinese felt any pain. Born and raised in the United States, her blood origin brought her misfortune, but she insisted on liking the Oriental culture and Chinese customs inherited from her ancestors. Growing up in Chinatown, she saw many movies filming here, which made Wong obsessed with movies. With no money, no power, and no background, it is destined that this road will be extremely bitter. Because of the racist ideology at the time, Anna May Wong could only play some characters who died tragically or vilified the Chinese. She played Mongolian slaves and low-level women. These Chinese characters who were forced to portray on the screen were spread across the ocean, making her controversial among Chinese people. In this regard, she was very sad but helpless. She said, "If it wasn't for me, it would be Japanese or other Asians, and the image of the Chinese would be even more terrifying." She tried her best to protect the image of Chinese. Although the character's behavior and language were controlled by others, she added sharpness and perseverance to her eyes, implying unwillingness and anger, and carried out this silent resistance for the fate of the Chinese. Some big-name directors noticed her unique vitality and finally extended invitations to her. After playing marginal roles for 5 years, she finally made a breakthrough. She is the first Chinese-American actress in Hollywood. In 1922, she played the role of the beautiful Chinese girl Lotus Flower in the American film The Toll of the Sea. From the clear eyes at the beginning, to the sadness and indignation of being teased by ruthless fate, Anna May Wong's superb acting skills are amazing, even overshadowing the limelight of the white male lead. When the film was released in Japan, even the always harsh Japanese filmmakers said that this Chinese female star had better acting skills than all Japanese actresses. She became popular overnight and got the opportunity to cooperate with big-name Hollywood actors, and a large number of photos appeared in American movie magazines. But her situation is not optimistic, and the deep-rooted racism will not disappear. Some American journalists with malicious intentions published discriminatory articles in the rhythm of the extremely prejudiced yellow peril theory. The National Public Radio of the United States has reported that even though Wong was a very popular Chinese actor at the time, she was often cast in roles with racist prejudices. Plus, she was underpaid. For example, in Shanghai Express in 1932, Wong's salary was only $6,000, while the white actress who cooperated with her was paid $78,166, a difference of more than 10 times. In 1933, in the film The Good Earth, about Chinese farmers, Wong was the best candidate for the heroine of the play, but the crew rejected her and instead used a German actress to play the role of a farmer. Even though she has a beautiful appearance, superb acting skills, and is even known as one of the most beautiful actresses in Hollywood, she still doesn't get a chance to play the leading role. Such injustice made her feel humiliated, and she retorted in a public interview, "I am tired of the role I have to play. Why the Chinese on the screen are almost always the villains in the film, and they are very cruel. Vicious, treacherous, like snakes in the grass. We are not like that." However, it is undoubtedly impossible to correct everyone's cognition in the era of the strongest racial prejudice. She can only go to Europe, hoping to find a chance to break free from the restrictions. The British have already seen her penetrating acting skills through the screen. When she arrived in London, she starred in 5 British films. Especially after Piccadilly was released, her unique style in the play led the trend of the times and was imitated by countless European girls. She was recognized by discerning British film critics, and film magazines rushed to invite her to be on the cover. All cinemas, restaurants, and even streets and alleys in London posted stills of Wong. The British upper class made no secret of their love for her, and even the royal family invited her to the banquet. The popular Wong is called Chinese by Europeans because of her yellow face. At that time, it was the 1930s, and the Chinese nation was being bullied and had no dignity. Some Chinese who had acquired other nationalities denied their Chinese origin, for fear of being labeled as backward and ignorant. Wong has come all the way from discrimination, and she is well aware of the hardships and difficulties of the Chinese. She has never lost her sense of identity with her Chinese origin. "I really wish I was born in China," she told reporters in Europe. She also wrote an article on "Chinese people are misunderstood," telling readers that Chinese people are not what they appear on the screen. In fact, Chinese people are kind-hearted and love life. Their textiles, ceramics, clothing, and banquets exhibit these characteristics. She said she was proud of being Chinese. After Wong became popular in Europe, Hollywood Paramount Pictures hurriedly invited her back to star in many famous movies. Wong finally shined and became a smash hit. When she returned to China in 1936, and the half a year spent in China strengthened her sense of national identity even more. This was the only trip to China in her life, but she spent the rest of her life doing her best for China, saving the motherland and compatriots who were struggling in the flames of war. At that time, there was a China Aid Federation organization in the United States, and she worked for it full-time. During the Christmas period of 1937, she handed over all the remuneration for the new film to the China Aid Federation. In the second year, she auctioned off all her gowns to donate medicines in short supply to China. In the third year, she sold many of her jewelry for charity, and all the proceeds were used for China's war of resistance. In 1942, she starred in the anti-Japanese propaganda films Bombs Over Burma and Lady from Chungking, which were broadcast in the United States. She donated all the proceeds from these two films to China. In 1960, as the first Chinese-American actress, she left her name on the inauguration ceremony of the Hollywood Walk of Fame. However, just 1 year later, the Chinese movie star who once amazed the world died of a heart attack at the age of 56. The New York Times commented on her, one of the most memorable characters in Hollywood's glory days. On October 24, 2022, when she entered the 100th anniversary of her film career, the United States issued a new coin with her head and the head of the founding father of the United States engraved on both sides. She also became the first Chinese to be on the American currency. She has been fighting against discrimination all her life, and finally has been respected and recognized by the world. Well, thanks for listening. Please put your comments below and share your insightful ideas with us. See you next time.